Hello, it's Suzanne, and this is my application presentation number 2. And for this, I chose to share with you the NationalGeographicKids.com page. I think it's a super resource for science-based research. And since I did ABCA last time, and it was ELA and math based, I thought that I would do science this time just for a little change of pace. I like this page or this website very much. I think there's a whole lot of information on this page, and I think it fits within the Georgia standards very, very, very well because it supports the life sciences and the earth and space sciences, and I'm going to scroll through and show you guys some stuff. And just on this first home page, the landing page, you can see here's life science represented right here with the groundhogs. Groundhog's Day is coming up. This is actually new. They put this up today. So that's fun. I bet that would be fun for some kids to check out. You can look at habitats. What I want to talk about is down here, where it goes into the amphibians, birds, insects, invertebrates, mammals, this whole thing. As you can see, this already is plugging into a 5th grade standard of obtain, evaluate, and communicate information to group organizations using the scientific classification procedures. That's the, kingdom, domain, genus, phylum, all the way down. And then the S5L1A is develop a model that illustrates how animals are sorted into groups, vertebrate and invertebrate. We have that represented here, and how the vertebrates are sorted into groups: fish, amphibian, reptile, bird, and mammals, and here they all are. So that's great. A student could click and choose any of these guys and go in, and there's just a repository of more information. You can see here's the overall definition, and then there's examples of everything. So this would be great for a 5th grader to be able to access and maybe do a PowerPoint presentation, maybe do a group project. If they wanted to check out the bullfrogs, it looks like they can do that on that page. I also thought that I would plug in the ISTE standards as well for this site, and just the three that I thought would be would have the most correlation to within this website would be the Empowered Learners standards, is that the students can use technology to seek feedback that informs and improves their practice and to demonstrate their learning in a variety of ways. This definitely has great information. It's a great repository of information. They can come and grab it, and like I said, do what they need to with it in terms of scientific research, or what have you. If there's a certain assignment that their teacher has given you, it's all here, and it's great. It would be a knowledge constructor. They would definitely be able to do that with this website, and a creative communicator. They could share this information. Excuse me. So I wanted to also talk to you about, so that was life science. I wanted to talk to you about space, the space page. This page is particularly a good resource for the 2nd grade Earth and Space Science Standard and the 4th grade Earth and Space Science Standard. They're basically the same, except 4th grade goes a little bit beyond with a little bit more detailed information. And I'll talk about that in just a minute. But as you can see here, these are all pages that have different information about the different planets, and this is where the 4th grade standard goes into the detail. They want the 4th graders to be able to give more information and know more information about the planets. The ones that are rocky and the ones that are gaseous. They want to know that specific. They want the fourth graders to know that specific information. Now, where they come back together is the stars and planets. They want to know about what makes a star, and what makes a planet. And they also want to know specifically, they want the second graders specifically to know that the sun is the closest star in our galaxy. And they want the second graders to know that it's not a very big star. And you can see here it says it's average in size and is a middle-aged star. So that's what the second graders would need to know. That's great for them to go and do some research. Here is where the fourth graders would go and to find out more about the planets and then why planets are classified as the way that they are. And so here it is right here. A planet must orbit the sun and be large enough so that its own gravity molds its spherical shape, etc., etc. And you can see here they changed the verbiage about Pluto. Pluto is a dwarf planet. And that's another thing that they would need to know. And then you can see from there, they have information about dwarf planets. And that I cannot find right now. Where is it? Let's see. Here it is, right here. Dwarf planets. So they would click on that and they could find out all about the dwarf planets. I'm going to go back out. And I'm going to show you about the dinos, the dinosaur, and the prehistoric. This supports a third grade standard, science standard. Obtain, evaluate, and communicate information on how fossils provide evidence of past organisms. And if you come here, where is the... Here it is. Enter the dinosaur death pit. Let me show you something on this. This is so funny. Look how many hits this page has. Isn't that funny? Look at the rest of the number of hits. That's so funny to me. But anyway, you can go on this page and it tells you, it gives you a good overview about the fossils and what the fossils tell us. And that fits into that third grade standard. Because the specific is construct an argument from observation of fossils to communicate how they serve as evidence of past organisms and the environments in which they lived. And you can see here, there's information here, digging up answers. There's just a ton of information here. They're talking about, the T-Rex and its powerful arms. And I think they go into, the Gobi death pits, rewrite the history of the dinosaurs. So there's just a ton of information here that would support that third grade standard. Then, up here, I'm still on dinosaurs. Up here, we are going to go into national parks. And this supports a 5th grade standard of obtain, evaluate, and communicate information to identify surface features on the Earth caused by constructive and or destructive processes. So some of the things that I pulled out here would be, this is just in America. The Grand Canyon, that's obviously a destructive erosion force. The volcanoes here in Hawaii, that's destructive and constructive. And those were just some resources that I thought that would support that. Yosemite here with the natural landforms would be a good resource too. And then we're going to come back out here. And we're going to go to the habitats. I couldn't find the standard that fits into, but I know that it does. It may be a kindergarten standard, to be quite honest with you. It may be like kindergarten or first. So they're learning about habitats, so that's a great resource there. And then I saw about weather, and that is a 4th grade standard. Specifically the different instruments that are used. Well, there's weather. Where is it? Here, is this it? Nope. There was weather. Let's do this. Weather. Do I just keep going by it? Amazing animals. Well, there was weather on here somewhere. And in it, it talks about learning about weather and the different instruments that you can use to measure the weather. And I can't find it presently, but that's okay because it's here. I promise that it is here. It talks about it had information on measuring weather, and it supported the 4th grade standard of construct an explanation of how weather instruments, the thermometer, rain gauge, a barometer, wind vane, and an anemometer are used in gathering weather data and making forces. And it had each of them listed out. I can't find it now, but it is in here, I promise. That was my example for the 4th grade standard. So, this is my presentation. I hope you guys like it. And thanks for listening, guys. See you later.